Hello, my gorgeous darlings. The exams are over. Oh my God. I just felt last Friday night all across the country, just all our young people and all of us parents doing this massive, united sigh of relief. It's like we've been holding our breath for months with this massive storm cloud of stress and doom and gloom over our kids, and just trying to keep that in hand and help them get through, help us get through. You know, it's been quite something. And that's what I wanted to speak with you about today, actually, because I've shared a lot of different breathing exercises in different videos before, but I wanted to share with you today some new ones, because as we know, yes, the exams are gone, but, you know, we're now dealing with rail strikes, all these other things going on. You know, we've got the situation out there with Putin. We've got we're living in a crazy, crazy world, and people are beginning to feel crazy too, but not in a good way. So we need to bring the delicious, lovely craziness back. And the way to do that is very, very simple, through breathing. It's free. You don't need to go and spend hundreds of pounds on a gym membership. You can do it anywhere and at any time, and actually you can adapt it for any mobility and for any different ability, so you can help people do it. You know, you can assist them. Ideally they can do it for themselves, and then they've got that toolbox of wonderful stuff that they can use. And it really is about taking a deep breath. That's what it's all about. I know sometimes when you feel really upset, or you can get really cross about something, and people might say to you, oh, come on, just take a deep breath. And you think, really? Are you joking? You know, when you're barely able to breathe at all. But actually, if you really can try, I've said it before, your breath is your superpower. When we're hyperventilating, we're actually decreasing the blood and oxygen to the brain by 40%. So it really compromises that frontal lobe, that where it, you know, it's like the cockpit of a jumbo jet. It's got all those gorgeous higher functioning, you know, things like good judgment, seeing consequences, perspective, focus, concentration, attention, you know, being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, rationalize. You know, that rational brain, when we get really, really upset, just shuts down. So why it's called seeing red. It's a white mist comes down, and we're literally going from our stomachs, from deep in our stomachs, that second brain, that gut, that then responds to that fight or flight. So, and it's there to protect us, you know, it's there to protect us. So it's not a bad thing. No emotions are bad. We are spectrum, a wonderful, colourful spectrum of all different emotions. But it's just learning sometimes how to regulate those. Because as I've said before, there's a difference between being sad or angry and being an aggressive person, or a really, really depressed, sad person. And so there are these little things that you can use to help yourselves. And if you've got a child with pathological demand avoidance, ADHD, ADD, and it's going to be difficult for them just to sit and do some breathing exercises, which I must admit, even to me, sounds a bit boring. You could put them into stories, you know. You can give these breathing techniques your own names and make it into a story, like a breathing story about their passion, their interest, whether that's football, dinosaurs, Lego, whatever it is. Just imagination. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, because that's the other thing, when we breathe deeply and we breathe normally, we're boosting the oxygen to our lungs, because we're able to take in those nice deep breaths. That boosts immunity, helps to regulate our heart, which, as I said last week, the heart is the control mechanism, the health mechanism to the body. It's where we're feeling everything right now. But when we breathe well and we breathe deeply, it also decreases pain. I remembered that one when I was in labour. It actually does decrease pain. When you hyperventilate, physical pain is increased. When you breathe normally, it decreases pain. But it also sends far more blood and oxygen up to the brain, so that we can think and rationalise. And it releases a hormone called Nonadrenaline, which is all about positivity and focus. So, you know, isn't it amazing? Something that we do every day without even thinking about has all these benefits, and it's completely free and at your disposal. So you can use this on a friends and family basis. If you're a therapist, a teacher, whoever you are watching this, share it freely. And later on today, I'm going to be writing an article for Anna Kennedy Online, the autism charity. And there'll be some diagrams and a little recap of really just the sciencey bits. If you're a therapist trying to get it into schools, for instance, and you need to firmly ground it in science and not ever mention the word well-being, because they don't like that word. They think it's fluffy, and it's not. This is neuroscientifically based. You know, I'm as daft as a box of frogs, but honestly, I am rooted in neuroscience. I've got that. I can be really serious sometimes, you know. I get my savage glasses on, and you know, I'm always learning with this lovely neuroscience because I just find it so exciting. Anyway, I'm going to get on with it. So the first one I'm going to show you, and I think it's a good it's a good introduction into it, because we carry a lot of weight on our shoulders. It's in our language, carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. And our shoulders are the most used muscles in the body on an anatomical level. So we can really build up that nasty tension and that load that we're carrying. And you get some people, their shoulders are up by their ears. You know, you can see they've been that way for a long while. So if you breathe in through your nose, roll your shoulders back, breathe out through your nose, and let your shoulders just flop. It's just let it go. So it's a shoulder roll breath, very originally. But say you've got a child with ADHD and they're nuts on adrenaline rushes and fairgrounds. You know, I get that. It could be going on a roller coaster. You know, you're going carefully up to the top of the roller coaster, and then you're whizzing and screaming all the way down. You know, so weave it into stories, weave it into what they love. Or it could be, you know, you're building up to get that football in the goal, and then you kick it and it goes in. It's as simple as that, you know. That's all you're doing. And that helps to loosen everything up, helps to start opening up the heart, opening up the lungs. So then we go into something called, it's eagle breathing. This is what I call it with a lot of the kids who I work with. And you literally, as you breathe in, so you're opening up the heart again. And this is really important, because this is where our present emotions are. Stuffed down emotions are in our gut. But when we do the bird wing breathing, we're opening up the gut so that we can let those, I call it like pond silt, that stuff that we don't deal with, we shove it down. It allows that to come up under your control, which is really important. Always has to be under your control. Opens up the heart, relaxes the heart, lowers heart rate and blood pressure, releases all this gorgeous non-adrenaline. So you're focused and positive. So you just breathe in through your nose if you can. And lift your arms up as if you're a great big eagle about to soar off a mountainside. I actually picture myself doing this. And then you take off. So it's quite a strong, energetic breath, as you can see, because it just made me cough. That's not a good sign, is it? And I'm meant to be a therapist. Oh, well. I never edit these things. So I am as I am on the day. So there we go. So I shall show it to you again this time without coughing. So you breathe in, open up those great big wings, and then breathe out, breathe in. And as I've said to you before, you don't have to do it with your eyes closed. I do, because I'm really visual. I like to get right into it. Even though I've done this for, I don't know, gosh, 20 years, I have to get right in there and just imagine what that feeling must be like. But you can do it with your eyes open. Look, I'll show you. God, I was almost normal then. There we go. And do it gently, mindfully. It's all about mindful breathing. Some of our children who are neurodivergent, neurodiverse, or have simply been going through a really tough time, might actually be what we call mouth breathers. And that means they breathe much more shallowly because they're used to being under a lot of stress, fight, flight, tension. You know, they're always ready to, you know, have a meltdown or run, or, you know, they live their lives in fear. A lot of them literally survive if they're at mainstream school, and surviving is just an amazing bonus. So they are really battling through every school day. So to get that breathing going, to open up the heart, to fill it with that non-adrenaline is really powerful. And again, if you have a child who has a different ability and they're really passionate about, if it's wildlife, you can still call it eagle breathing. You know, if it's aeroplanes, if they're nuts on planes, it could be an aeroplane taking off. So do you see what I mean? I know I'm going on a bit, but I just want you to get the idea of how I weave therapies into stories, you know? And that's why I loved it so much last year when that little girl who I'd been seeing for 9 months said to me, Juliana, when you grow up, when you grow up, I think you'd make a really good therapist. And I loved that because I thought, wow, she has no idea that actually what we're doing here is therapy. And that's so inviting and empowering to the child. You're meeting them where they are at, and young adults, you know. And actually sometimes, you know, you're meeting you where you are because you're doing it with them. You know, you're not staring at them doing it because that's horrible. Do it with them. Be a flock of eagles flying off the mountainside. It's so much fun. Oh my God, it really is. Anyway, so then I was going to show you heart breathing, because this is another one that massages the gut to get like a big, if you imagine it's like a big wooden spoon, what we're going to do next, you're holding a big wooden spoon and you're stirring up that pot in your gut of dopamine and serotonin, the party hormones, you know, the self-esteem, happiness, confidence, focus, motivation, reward, joy, drive, those lovely ones. That's what you're doing. You're stirring up a big soup of that. So you join your hands together like this, as if you're about to pray, or as if you're imagining it's a wooden spoon. And you're literally going to draw in the air in front of you the number 8. It's called lazy 8 breathing. So if you do really struggle to breathe through your nose, just try at first to breathe deeply in through your mouth. Because I do understand, you know, it's really hard if you've been used to mouth breathing for a very long time. It will take you a little while to get used to. But if you can breathe in through your nose, you're taking in that oxygen in a much more intensive way. And it's firing that concentration and focus in the brain on a neuroscientific level. So you can either do it like this in front of you. And if you've got somebody with cerebral palsy who may find this difficult, help them. Put your hands over theirs. Because don't forget, touch. As soon as you've touched somebody, within 20 seconds, you are stimulating oxytocin, the hormone of love and nurture that stimulates emotional intelligence. So put your hands over theirs and very gently, as far as they're able, help them to do this. If you're feeling really, really active, you could do it above your head. So just breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I've sped it up a bit for the purposes of the video, but you know, you do it really, really, really mindfully. You can even, if you're feeling extra supersonic, you could do it with both hands. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And that's all you're doing. And you're massaging that gut. You're getting that serotonin up and that dopamine, opening the lungs, calming the heart rate and blood pressure, and bursting with non-adrenaline. Oh my God, it's delicious just by doing that. The next one I love is called heart breathing. And you literally, you're drawing a heart in the air. So you start down by in front of your tummies, and you breathe in. You go, draw that heart shape, and then come down the middle. Breathe out. Open up your hearts. Open up your hearts. Breathe out through your mouth. And that really balances you, because the hands as well are related to the muscles in your brain. The hands and the muscles are related to the muscles in the brain. You can actually feel yourself. When you go down like that, you try it, you can actually feel yourself balance and feel grounded. It's amazing. You can actually feel it really close to you, do that, balancing both sides of the body and grounding you. And it's so simple. And again, you're boosting immunity, you're boosting non-adrenaline, you're pushing up those happy hormones and coping chemicals. So if you've got a child, again, I'm sorry, I have got a tickle today. I sound like a oh, chimney. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's got into me. Something must have been flying around in here. Anyway, so if you've got a child who's autistic, has a passion about something, ADHD, as I say, you can literally say, you know, you absolutely love, sorry, I did it the wrong way around. You absolutely love wildlife. You absolutely love planes. You are absolutely brilliant and love maths. Weave it into stories, you know, weave it into what they love. Because when you've done that, you've engaged them. And if you've engaged them and you're doing it with them, straight away, their serotonin levels are boosted. So that's before you've even done any breathing or movement or anything, you know. It's just fantastic how it all works. I think we're really so cleverly put together. This is why I am an actual nerd and go on and on and on in my videos as if it's, you know, like a documentary. I do apologise. But anyway, so there we go, my darlings. I hope those have helped. They really are working on that gut-brain axis that I'm always going on about. We need to keep that clear. So just remember, when you feel it building, when you see something really horrible on the news, when you pull into a petrol station and the price of fuel has gone up yet again, or, you know, you're struggling and worrying about your job, or you're a university student and you still haven't quite finished your exams, or, you know, whatever your situation, just remember, take that deep breath before you hit that hyperventilation stage. Is so good, particularly if you suffer with anxiety, panic attacks, PTSD, social anxiety. Use these things, they're at your disposal, and please share them freely. And, you know, I don't like to say it on every video because I always feel a little bit awkward. It's, you know, I'm like plugging for subscribers, but honestly, on a serious note, for once, make the most of it. Thank God this is on film. If you can think of anybody who you think my videos would be of use to, whether it's a child, a family, the siblings of a child with different abilities, disabilities, neurodiversity, neurodivergence, whether it's a therapist, a doctor, whoever you are, you know, please pass this on. Do me a little thumbs up to get my serotonin going. I'd love that so much. And you know, it's about sharing. We are in it together. I don't want anybody to feel like they're on their own. And if breath work, breathing isn't for you, I've got lots of other videos about lots of other therapies. So, you know, share my stuff, share my channel, subscribe. You know, as I say every single time, I don't monetize a thing from this, you know. I mean, I just do it because I actually really genuinely care. So if it can help anybody, pass it on. You do not need to worry about downloading any of the stuff I give to Anna Kennedy. It's all there. You don't need to ask if you can print off the diagrams. Whoever you are, wherever you are, just use it. Make up your therapy boxes, make up your books, you know, have fun with it. And I wish you all a really, really, really good week. And take care, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, darlings.